But this is far bigger than me. This is far bigger than prison. It's far bigger than the police. This is about the future of our country. This is about handing our safety net to our children. This is handing the baton to those that we love. And we can't give the keys to our children to a home that is not safe. This country is not safe. It hasn't been safe for years. It's getting worse by the day. And the problem is we haven't got a government that cares about it. Rarely do we have a party that cares about it, apart from Reform, and even they are not what you would class as on the right of politics. What I would like to see is complete hard borders, mass deportations of those who we know nothing of, those who pose a risk to the most vulnerable in society, our children, women, the disabled, so on and so forth. Those who refuse to integrate and simulate with us and hate our culture and hate our laws, who want Sharia law instead, because our country is not good enough, although they have come here in the first place to seek refuge from such law. It doesn't make sense, and it begs to question what their real intentions are. Now, I am very familiar with Islam, the Quran, Hadiths, many Islamic texts such as Reliance of the Traveller, Heavenly Ornaments, and I have debated with many Muslim dawah teams and dawees, if you like, on YouTube and other platforms. And I can tell you from my experience alone that there is more to this than meets the eye. There are many videos that I have witnessed with these Muslim apologists openly bragging and talking about infiltrating our military, our police, our government, and how they are nearly at the point of where they could do so. And this poses a real threat. We've seen how Islam acts in the Middle East. We've seen what it done to Iran, Afghanistan, Syria, many other countries in its history. And it happened, or nearly happened, in Europe. If it wasn't for the fact we had a decent pope back then, which actually did stand for Christianity and masculine Christianity of that, where the Crusaders went in and prevented the Ottoman Empire from taking over Europe. If it wasn't for that fact, then we would probably be Muslims now. Now, I have nothing against Muslims. I agree that not all Muslims are the same. Not all Muslims do want Sharia law. In fact, there are many British Muslims that would not want Sharia law, that do value our democracy and our country. However, the vast majority of them do. We are seeing what the numbers and figures in statistics of what we've seen in other countries across the East and the West. And the problem is, once they get into power in places like the government here in the UK, things or laws can easily be changed. And we are seeing a heavy influence from Islam happening in our political spectrum, especially in regards to the Labour Party. Islam is the only religion that Labour has actually donated money towards. And we're not just talking hundreds of thousands of pounds, yes, so you can have a new extension. We're talking about multi-millions worth of pounds. And it begs the question, who is the most important people here in the country? Is it we, the British public, or is it them, the invaders, the ones that are coming over here, invading our shores illegally, committing an illegal act the moment they are already stepping foot on our shores? And when they do, they have a bed waiting for them, as well as emergency healthcare, dentistry, and access to an unlimited pot, like it seems, of the taxpayers' money. This is wrong on so many levels, and it's something that we cannot hand over to our children. This is something that needs to be dealt with and rectified whilst I am still alive, whilst my generation is still alive. I was born and grew up in the 90s. I grew up in a rural town, you can probably tell by the farmer's accent, in Gloucestershire. And it was much safer than what you would see in London. Modern day London is a complete walking mess in comparison to where I grew up. It was actually safe enough for you to leave push bikes outside your house, or the shops, even in that regard. And yet, Today, what you can see in London is what you would call a modern third world Pakistan state. That's pretty much what you could class London as now, or Londonistan, as many others call it. I beg all of you who watch this to put your burdens aside, whether it's against Tommy, whether it's against any figure of that, and there may be some things that you disagree with Tommy on, and you may not agree with Tommy fully 100% on all the things he says. But it's not about Tommy. This is about the message. This is about Britain. This is about the future of British culture, the British identity. It's said in a famous song, Rule Britannia, Britons shall not be slaves. But we are stepping very close and one step closer to becoming slaves of wokery, slaves of Islam. And what happened in Iran will very much happen here. The left went hand in hand with the Islamists, and as soon as Islam got into power, the left were the first people that they got rid of. So that's my warning to you lefty champagne sipping snowflakes out there as well. You must take this country seriously, and the future of your children seriously too. This whole ideology of communism and socialism that you may have in your brain won't exactly work, and if that's something that you want to explore, then please be my guest. Go visit North Korea, Russia or China. Do not try and replicate such atrocity over here in my country, please. Thank you. My great-grandfather served in World War II. He volunteered with his friends, didn't get enlisted, and didn't meet my grandmother till she was aged 7. He got shot at. He was jumping out of planes at night time in Germany, being shot at. He was happy to give his life up. He was happy to give up his time, his blood, sweat and tears for my freedom, for his bloodline. And now I'm here, I'm not exactly reaping the rewards of what my grandfather fought for, nor his comrades, nor the Britain or the British people that have fought for people like myself and my friends and my family. People like Keir Starmer need to have a reality check, look in the mirror, look down the halls of Downing Street and Parliament at old great leaders that have worn their hearts on their sleeves, their courage and bravery amongst their shoulders and their chests, that were willing to stand in battle in the front line as cannon fodder to protect the country and its people. Keir Starmer is not one of those that would do that, and we must always think when we're at that ballot box, are we going to vote for someone that seems nice, or are we going to vote for someone that we know we can trust, someone we know that, if worse come to the worst, would lead us out of a hellhole, someone that ignites fear in other opposition's hearts? Because that's what we need. We need a strong, courageous, brave leader that's not scared of making tough decisions. Not a mampy-pampy Keir Starmer who panders to absolutely every single minority there is. We want someone to stand for the British people, the majority, those who have lived here, those who have bloodlines here going back generations, that have fought in many battles and wars. Rant over. But guys, if you all want to be part of saving this culture, this identity, this country, then I truly inspire and encourage you to join us all on October the 26th outside number 10 Downing Street at 1 p.m. There we will be holding the largest rally the UK has ever seen. See you there.